Man, I love playing Unleashed. Gameplay is fun, the controls are functional, and Griffith was at his best as the voice of Sonic.
Feeling good.
I miss that. But I'm really glad he was able to go out on a high note, unlike some other voice actors.
That's where you're wrong, you casual.
Who the heck are you?
That doesn't matter now. I'm here to educate you.
Are you saying there was a Jason Griffith Sonic game after Unleashed?
Oh yes, a legendary game that has been criticized every year since its release, with its exceptionally low review scores and a premise that made the general audience scoff and incredulity. Its reputation precedes it with every mention of its name.
It can't possibly be that bad. Let me see that. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Sonic and the Black Knight was released in 2009, 1 year after Sonic Unleashed and just before Sonic Colors, putting it in a pretty weird position considering its more unique gameplay style compared to those other two games. It's the second and last entry in the Sonic Storybook sub-series, say that 5 times fast, which had already set expectations for this game to be pretty low, because its predecessor, Sonic and the Secret Rings, wasn't considered the worst game in the series, although that's mostly because it had the bar lowered right before it released, but it certainly wasn't a fan favorite either. Both games seem to be hindered by pretty unusual premises, with Secret Rings placing Sonic in the world of the Arabian Nights and Black Knight throwing him into the world of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Yeah, not sure where they came up with this stuff. Anyway, I'm going to give this game a fair chance and see if it really warrants all the hate it's gotten since its release. Hey man, I know we just met, but do you want to stick around while I play the game? You seem to know quite a bit about Sonic games.
Sure, this is actually one of my favorite games. I brought it to you so that you could give it an unbiased appraisal and validate my opinion. But you're going to give it a fair chance, right? Even if some parts of it are pretty stupid.
Of course. Besides, how much more ridiculous can it be than the other games about a blue hedgehog that fights the scientists and collects rings that I play? The game starts with a... hold on, I think this might be the wrong game. This looks like Game of Thrones or something. Oh, wait, no, there's Sonic.
Oh, I get it. No problem. I'm used to stuff like this.
What are you talking about? This happened once, and it really wasn't all that much like this at all. So the opening cutscene basically just shows us Sonic being summoned into this world by Merlina, who is this girl running away from this evil-looking guy who's going to be our main antagonist, and Shadow, Knuckles, and Blaze are also there. Looks like they're going to be some sort of rival, I guess. Seems like a pretty decent setup. Pretty ridiculous looking, granted, but nothing too bad so far.
Looks super awesome in this costume. Did you see me destroy all of those evil guys?
You?
Nope, I mean Sonic, who is definitely not me.
That actually reminds me, what's going on with the whole mask thing?
If anyone knew that I actually like this game, the internet would tear me apart.
Oh, come on, man. You really think the people on the internet would completely judge you based on your opinion on something as inconsequential as a Wii game from 2009? Yeah, that's probably fair. The second cutscene, and most of the other cutscenes in the game, are done in this really cool storybook art style that I personally think makes Sonic and the other characters all look pretty great. This is before they started shortening modern Sonic's quills and limbs to make him look more like classic Sonic, which actually makes this one of my favorite Sonic designs in the series. Anyway, we learn that Arthur, the big scary guy with the shoulder pads that rival Palpatine's, holds the Scabbard of Excalibur, which grants him basically invincibility. So to defeat him, we'll need to nullify the Scabbard's power. So let's get to it. Level 1 in Misty Lake. Alright, movement and jumping both feel pretty good. How do I swing the sword? Oh. Yeah, alright. Starting to understand why people might not like this.
It's really not that bad once you get used to it. Besides, isn't it cool to actually swing your remote like it's the sword?
Well, it's actually not a terrible idea, and we've seen it executed in decent fashion in other games, but for a mechanic to base a Sonic game around, it just feels really forced and clunky, and it doesn't help that there's only a few different types of swings you can even do, so the way that you swing the remote usually doesn't even matter that much. Anyways, at the end of the tutorial you get the first end level screen. Your ranking is based on a 5-star system, replacing the middle system from Secret Rings. and being the Sonic master that I am, I of course nailed the tutorial with 5 stars. This is one of the only times I accomplished that in the entire game, actually, but you're also able to identify various items with the ID points you get from playing through levels, but as of right now, it's not particularly useful, so we'll just move on. In the next cutscene, Sonic talks with Merlina about how Arthur got his scabbard from Mimiu, the Lady of the Lake. Merlina tells Sonic about a sacred sword that he'll need to defeat King Arthur, so he heads off to find it. This cutscene is actually a really good introduction to the kind of character that Sonic is going to be in this game. His characterization is unusually well done, with his impatience and sarcasm being juxtaposed with his general kind-hearted nature pretty well.
He is plunging his kingdom into a world of horror and chaos.
You mean like a big old haunted house? This'll be cool! It'll be like Halloween all year long!
Jason Griffith's performance is actually my personal favorite in the series, suiting this particular version of Sonic very well.
I know, right? That guy's got a pretty great voice.
Yeah. You know, you actually kind of sound like him yourself.
No, I don't. Shut up and move on!
The next level lets us see a little more of the beautiful assets and environments that were created for this game. Some people don't seem to like the relatively muted color palette, but I actually think it works for the general visual style the game was going for.
Are all creatures from your world as coordinated as you?
I mean, coordinated is really not the word I'd use to describe Sonic in this game, considering half the time I'm just kind of flopping around aimlessly, swinging the sword at nothing. At the end of the level, we fight a big dragon, which is pretty cool. That's definitely not going to happen again anytime soon. Nope, not once. Alright, we found the sword. There's some interesting dialogue here about how Sonic defeating King Arthur will result in the world seeing him as a villain, sort of a...
Slayer of kings!
The story actually seems to be going in a pretty interesting direction with...
Fool!
The sword talks. Come on, why is this game making it so hard to like it? I mean, the sword just speaks out of its hilt. I know it's a Sonic game, but this is just kind of... Huh. Wonder who that could be.
What did you just say to me, loser?
Ah! Well, I think I'm going to deal with that the same way Nintendo deals with Joy-Con drift, which is to say I'm going to ignore it and hope it goes away. So the sword can talk, but no time to worry about that now, because King Arthur is about to take a swing at us. Maybe we'll get our first dose of challenging gameplay here. I mean, it's probably one of those boss fights where you actually have to lose to progress in the story. Or not. Wow, what a pushover. Normally I'd say that having a big boss of the game be easily defeated at the beginning is kind of lame, but in this particular instance I think it showcases the futility of actually trying to fight him because he's immediately revived by the power of his scabbard. It's also more understandable considering the rest of the plot, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. Anyway, back to the talking sword. His name is Caliburn, and despite the fact that he is in fact a sword, I actually like him as a character. He's a bit of a stickler for the rules of chivalry that knights are supposed to follow, so pairing him with Sonic, who pretty much just wants to get the job done without worrying about anything but doing what he thinks is right, results in some pretty interesting interactions.
This could go on forever. You sure you're a sacred sword?
It is you, sir, who lacks the proper fighting skills.
A fool of a knight, not even worth slaying.
You see, he thinks so too.
Well, it's your fault. You're a sad excuse for a teacher.
Since they really can't do anything until they nullify the scabbard's power, Sonic and Caliburn head out to talk to the Lady of the Lake. Oh, wait, hold on. Caliburn's concerned with his dullness. Yeah, no, okay. Let's go to the blacksmith. There's not like there's anything important we're supposed to be doing.
Merlina? Hello?
Why do flowers bloom, knowing they are destined to wither?
Huh?
Their time of beauty is so short-lived.
Okay. Got this emo wizard bringing down the mood over here. Merlina says she'll be recognized in town, which I guess means the people there would attack her or arrest her or something. Man, I'd never seen anyone throw up so many red flags in such a short period of time. Anyway, ignoring everything she just said, we're in Camelot Castle now, filled with lots of these Jawa-looking guys, which makes me wonder where all the humans are. I mean, Merlina's a human, and we're left to assume that Arthur's a human. I mean, I guess we're not sure of that. We can find out real quick. Huh. That's a buff Jawa. We reach the blacksmith, and I bet you'll never guess who it is.
I know a fine blade when I see it. I am a blacksmith after all.
Great. Think you could sharpen this dull piece of rust?
Fool, it is you who is dull.
Of course I could. Now, what's the sword's name?
come on, Tails. Why would you possibly need to know that? The man just wants you to sharpen the sword while he stands there and watches you do it. It's a ridiculously simple task, and the fact that you're wasting everyone's time with these stupid questions is making me unreasonably angry.
Jeez, you really don't like Tails, do you?
Yeah, I might have some unresolved issues there. I think what really gets to me is that one time you just stood there and watched Sonic get beat up by a bunch of guys.
Oh yeah, I've forgotten about that. Tails sucks.
We unlocked some customization options that we can't really do anything with yet. Have to check in on that later. So on to the next stage. Here we learn about Soul Surge. Basically, you can collect these red fairy things that build up your soul gauge, and then you can slow down time and perform well-timed hits in order to keep the gauge from running out quickly. Yeah, I'm really bad at doing this properly. For some reason, I really struggle to get the perfect timing, but hey, got 4 stars. Yay. Now we can move on to the next stage, another Soul Surge tutorial. Oh. Well, I guess you can do it in the air if you didn't figure that out before now. Now on to Deep Woods to find Nemu. First we have this cart part where there's one very clear optimal strategy. Yeah, you can really only do one kind of swing for some reason, so this part's just kind of boring. We can trade with some villagers in the town areas, though. That is, if we're willing to slow to a crawl and do a little quick time event. Dude, I'm giving you 20 rings for whatever this necklace thing is. It's practically charity, and you're forcing me to pass a reflex test?
Hey, you wanna buy some headphones?
Well, I don't really need headphones, but if you need the money, how about $100?
Sure, I just need you to solve this crossword in the next 10 seconds.
Okay. Let's see. Word that rhymes with orange, 2 letters. What is this?
Thumbs up, looks like I'll be keeping my headphones.
Okay. Guess I'll keep my $100 then.
This didn't really work out for anybody, did it?
The end of this area is actually pretty neat looking, especially the... Are you serious? What the heck was that? Ah, okay. We have Shadow as Lancelot here, not a bad choice. Actually, I really like this cutscene. Sonic basically says, hey, I don't want to fight this guy because he's an expert swordsman, and I literally only started doing this a few hours ago, and that seems, you know, reasonable, but Caliburn pretty much forces him into doing it anyway.
What shall it be? Will you abandon your sword and flee? Sounds good to me!
Fool! A knight never flees a foe.
May I have your name, Apprentice Knight?
He is Knave the Hedgehog, and he accepts your challenge.
Hey, wait just a second here!
Very well then. Brace yourself, Knave the Hedgehog.
Alright, let's get this boss fight started. Should be an interesting battle.
You're gonna regret saying that!
Far too careless.
Okay, awesome. Caliburn says here that Lancelot is the strongest of the 3 knights you fight in the game, so the fact that he's the first one you fight really doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we made it to the Lady of the Lake. Yeah, it's Amy. I mean, who else were they going to pick? Rouge? I feel like that would have been mega cursed. Anyway, Amy tells us we need to pass 3 tests in order to be trusted to take Arthur's scabbard. Those being to free people from a dungeon, show compassion for those in need, and completely brutalize your enemies, like any kind-hearted hedgehog would. But you know, I'm getting kind of tired. I think maybe I'll take a break and pick it up tomorrow.
You'll never get out alive, you blade-bashing barbarian.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Guess we're stuck in here. At least I can talk to you.
I guess.
So, what happened with Sonic Forces?
Yeah, okay, the video is over.